Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm sick. I was at work today and I got off at 3 and it was about noon that I started feeling really exhausted. And I went and got a Monster and I couldn't even drink it all because it wasn't tasting that good to me. And then I go to Walmart. I got a pain. I go to Walmart and I started feeling feverish and then more cold than normal. I get home and I'm worse. I feel horrible. And I hope I'm not coming down with something because that would suck. So Mouse is needing attention as normal. Mouse, please. I got my comfy, thick sweater on that makes me look fatter than I already am. I'm just poking fun. I'm not knocking myself down. And Mouse is needing to be involved in this video. I hope you don't mind. I was actually debating on doing this video because I'm not feeling well, and that was so weird. I could have swore that Mouse blew in my straw. It's a metal straw. But anyway, so I laid on the couch, leaned back on the couch. I didn't really lay down. And Mouse laid on me, of course. And so I'm like, I'm just going to do this video, edit it, and then go to bed because I'm serious. I do not feel good. So I got up. I lint rolled my shirt because a buttload of cat hair was all over me, and probably cat snot now. Anyway, so I want to talk about my last 2 visits. My last video talked about one, but I don't think I mentioned this part that I'm fixing to tell you in it. And right now I don't feel like watching it to see if I did or not. But I don't think I did because after I uploaded it, I'm like, I think I forgot that. So in that visit, I have my Ring camera on. I want to say maybe I did now that I'm saying it, but just in case. I had my Ring camera on. And it's on constantly now. And I was at work the day after my last visit, and it hit me, oh, my camera was on. I wonder if I got anything. And there was an enormous gap in motion detecting on my Ring camera. Now, keep in mind that I have hip pain and back pain. And if I lay in one position too long, I wake up in excruciating pain. And then I have to roll over no matter what, because laying on that same spot still is going to increase in pain. And there was like a 7 hour period that there was nothing. And I remember thinking, that's really odd. Well, last night I had a visit. This one was weird. Now, it was similar to the last one. Well, no, not last one. I can't remember what one was the last one. The samurai warrior. He didn't show up. This crud, I don't even remember what I did last right now. And I'm sorry. My mind is elsewhere. But anyway, he came in through my bedroom doorway right here. And that's where all the negative energies stop. And every one of them, up until the samurai and last night's, waited for me to offer them to come in. And I only did 1 or 2 of them. I can't remember. One for sure. But last night, I woke up and I remember looking toward my bedroom doorway and the light in here was flashing a lot of white again. And keep in mind, my microphone has rainbow lights. I'm looking at it now. It's red, green, yellow, blue, different shades of green. So I focused, and I could not really tell if this was a human entity or other, but I could make out it was waving vigorously, and it was coming in like, hi, you know. And in my head, I think it was in my head, I was saying, if you're not in God's light, love, and energy, you cannot enter. And I said it again, and still I assume that it's coming from my doorway because it's a negative entity. And it kept coming right up to the bed. And then the rest from there gets a little foggy. I don't remember a lot from that point forward. But I remember I was kind of mad because now I'm confused. Are all of these entities a mixture? Are all of these good or bad? I don't know, because we don't talk. I'm so confused, and it's so irritating. The night before last night, I had very strange, if you ask me, visit. I woke up and I looked around and I'm like, what in the world? And I can't remember where all of these entities were. And I couldn't make out who or what they were, meaning extraterrestrial or human or otherwise. But they were huge bodies of something. And the very top part of my wall and ceiling where they join, really huge, like it was just hanging there looking. And then there were spots here and there, and I'm sitting there thinking, what in the world is going on? What is that? And I'm really trying to focus, and I'm trying to stay awake, and I can almost guarantee you that I know they put me back to sleep, without a doubt. I'm looking around thinking, this is crazy. I skipped a little, sorry. Go back to my last night's visit of the being coming in. And this being came in full force, fast. And I mean, clear up to the bed. I'm sitting there thinking, whoa, 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 you know. But mind you, I put in my head to them saying, something has got to give. Are all of you bad or good? There needs to be restrictions. Or if the last night's entity was good, come in slow, especially if you're coming in my doorway. You know, hesitate. And if you're good, I don't know, because I won't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But I mean, and I was thinking this in my head, and somehow I don't know how I knew to do this. But I pictured that being in my head and pictured it coming in my room 2 to 3 feet and stopping. And then when I looked at it in my head, I motioned for it to come closer. And then I was saying in my head, you know, just come in slowly, stop freaking me out. And so we'll see where it goes. But this morning at work, I remembered, oh, my Ring camera was on. So I go on there and went to look, and there's a huge gap again. And I know damn well that I woke up seeing what I saw last night. I mean, it was crazy. I rolled over and then looked down to the door. And my Ring camera is motion detected. And what that means is I could roll over, and the Ring tends to record before I roll over up to a certain amount of seconds, and then it'll catch me then rolling over before and during, I guess. I probably didn't explain that well, but I hope you understood it. So I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm going through all the videos and deleting them as I go, and no, there was a huge gap again. And with my hips being bad these last 3 days, especially because there's been storms, there's been a tad bit of a cold front coming in, and when those happen, my back and hips get bad. They really hurt if I lay on them too long. And so if I don't roll over, it really hurts. And It takes everything I have to roll over, and it actually takes me a while to roll over. I hurt so bad that I'm trying to grab things to help me roll over, like my headboard, my pillow. Of course, the pillow doesn't work, but yeah, that's what happened. Those are my last few visits, and I'm sorry I haven't recorded up to this point because I don't have an excuse, but toward the end of the week, it's really difficult on me because while I'm editing in the first day or two of the week, the later I stay up, the harder it is for me to get up, and then I'm exhausted for the rest of the day toward the end of the week. I don't have my glasses on, but I could tell. If I squint, I can tell what that says. I'm pretty close to the phone camera thing, and you're lopsided too. I apologize. That's horrible. I hope you don't even notice that. You probably noticed it only because I said something. I took some Tylenol. I don't even know if I told you that, but I took some Tylenol in hopes of it breaking a fever. I feel like I have a very mild fever, like 99.9. But I do want to stop it before it takes off really strong because I tend to run extremely high fevers ever since I was a little girl. Speaking of that, I want to add this to this video. I had many instances of times where I should have been unalived, or you know where I'm going. I supposed to, like, for instance, I gave birth to my son, I hemorrhaged, now I should have been unalived. And a matter of fact, I think I actually was unalived because when I woke up from the anesthesia, because they knocked me out to do emergency cesarean, the way I came to was like my soul slammed into my body. And the reason why I know that is because when I was 16, I tried to unalive myself, and my soul slammed in my body and threw me in a sitting position. Now, how did I know that at 16, right? My mother had me committed for 2 weeks, and the therapist told me that. And I had the whole memory of going where I went when I had my NDE. I don't know if that NDE would be bad for YouTube if I said the whole thing in words or sentences. You know where I'm going. But anyway, with him, I almost was unalived twice. Once during recovery after I had him, and the same day but later, I had him at 3:30 in the morning, and it was like, gosh, noonish when they made me get up, and my lungs collapsed. And I pulled out of that. But anyway, there's been several times where I should have been unalived. Or if I would have done something, I would have been unalived. And this one instance, I'll tell you really quick. I had a guy friend when I was 15 or 16. We were so close as friends, we told everybody we're brother and sister. He and his family invited me to go camping. And at the very last minute, and I felt so bad, but I was like, had a sense of urgency to call him and cancel. And I did. And he headed out that evening, and come to find out, a drunk driver hit him, went over his car and flattened the passenger side, which would have been where I was sitting. He said if I was there, I would have been, And he had severe injuries. He had severe injuries. He had to crawl out of the car onto the pavement. He shattered his leg, chipped his tooth somehow. It was huge. On this next one, I will say that later in life, I asked my mom, does she remember this, what I'm fixing to tell you? Or did this happen, or what? She was a single mom at that time. She had no boyfriends. And my sister gave me chickenpox. And I remember, oddly, don't know why, maybe because she needed to keep an eye on me, I don't know. but I was, I think, on her bed. And I was sick, running fever, and I'm pretty sure the fever was high. And I might have been in kindergarten, maybe first grade, something like that. I know it wasn't a dream because it seemed very real, especially at that age. And to this day, I remember what I seen exactly still how it happened. So I had my first memories of this, it was like my mom took me to church and told everybody she's very, very sick and unaliving. Can you please save her and have prayers for her? And they all said yes. And then I envisioned my mom bringing me back. And when I woke up, I was fever-free and everything. But I asked her, later as an adult, did you ever take me to church when I had chicken pox and you asked people to pray for me and stuff? She's like, no. And she's got a good memory. And so I left it at that. And I know what it was. That was one time. I was very, very sick as a child. I had high fevers a lot, which is a thing that certain starseeds go through. But yes, that was another one. I feel like a part of me did unalive. I shouldn't say part of me did. The whole of me did. And I feel like I went to my guides and they carried me somewhere where they gave me the memory of going into a church. And they healed me and brought me back to my body. Now, I say that because when I was 16 and tried to unalive myself, I didn't know what happened until 2 days after this happened. I was in the psych ward and I was laying in bed. And being insomniac still then, I was laying there thinking about something and the whole vision was right in front of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I had unalived myself. And then it was like the day after that is when I started seeing therapists, because you're supposed to while you're committed. And that's when he told me. And when I told him my whole vision, he's like, oh yeah, you had an NDE. And I'm like, oh my God. So if I was that age, 5, 6, however old I was that very first time with chickenpox, and I had the same vision that I had at 16, me being such a little kid, I probably wouldn't have handled that as good as I did at 16. I feel like I'm talking really loud. I'm sorry. So yeah, I wanted to put that out here too for you. Maybe you find it interesting. I don't know. So I'm going to get off of here. And in this video, it is now 21 minutes and 33 seconds, which will be smaller once I edit it. I hope you all are well. And I'm going to send you all love, light, and peace. Bye.